What's going on YouTube? How you doing, freedom fighters? Today, we are going to answer the long-ass question within the military community. Airborne versus Aerosol. Which is better? Well, my chat and I finally came to that answer. By the way, I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 Central. We do stuff like this on Military Mondays. So if you want to see what we're doing next, come check us out. Link will be in the description below. Now, this is a disclaimer, by the way. I am Aerosol qualified, but I also grew up in an airborne military community as well, since my dad was stationed at Fort Bragg literally his entire military career. Now he calls me a leg every time I call him. No, seriously, it's literally saved as a contact on his phone instead of son. There were a lot of arguments made to both sides with Airborne versus Aerosol, and a lot of flaws were brought up as well. At the end of the day, it was a really fun conversation to have with my community. And if you would like to be part of that community, join our Discord, the Freedom Fighter Nation. Link will be in the description below.
This is Army Aerosol School.
At the 101st, yep. That is Sabalowski Aerosol School.
Insert themselves and equipment.
So this is going to be 101st video for sure.
Helicopters.
As we start looking towards the future.
Now, as we get started with this video, right? Everyone's yelling Aerosol. Dude, I am not kidding you. Every step that you take with your left foot, you have to say aerosol. And a lot of people will say things like aerosol, like an aerosol can. People would say air is salt, or people would even say asshole, for example. And it's funny as fuck when you say it just because you have to say it everywhere you go, man. You're going to the bathroom, aerosol, aerosol, aerosol. You got to go take a shit, aerosol, aerosol, aerosol. It's so annoying, but it's tradition. Hey, what's up, Angel? How you doing, bro? How you doing, homie? We're watching aerosol shit first. And we're gonna like it, okay?
Future fight.
Let's go.
Nation states like in North Korea.
Soldiers have to graduate from a program known.
Yep, every day, even when you leave the fucking course, you have to do pull-up and push-ups.
Who's gonna get it?
Dude, those guys are sucking, man.
It's physically demanding, and also it's very mentally demanding. A lot of it.
They do have other branches in here as well, ladies and gentlemen. They have Air Force. They have other branches come in, the Marines even.
Training happens here at the Sabalowski Aerosol School.
Yep. Fucking amazing. That looks cool as fuck.
Campbell Army installation.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Kentucky border.
Which is stupid, by the way.
Home to the 101st Airborne Division.
Aerosol.
Nicknamed the Screaming Eagles.
More like the Flaming Chicken.
First name Aaron.
But
Or Screaming
before
Chicken.
Day one of Aerosol School begins, all students have to survive what's known as Day Zero.
Yeah. Day zero, aside from the 12-mile ruck march, which is the last day in the course, those are the two hardest days you'll ever have in your entire fucking military career in Aerosol. Literally. They smoke the piss out of you in day zero thinking you can't hack it. And then after that, it's just a memory game, right? And not getting caught and doing dumb shit. And then you do the 12-mile ruck march, and that shit sucks, especially if you've never rucked in your day in your life. They give you a specific roster. They give you like a specific checklist you're supposed to have, and everything in that you will ruck with.
Students in this group.
How seriously they take your layouts? Literally just like that I just said. Literally, you have a fucking pen, right? And say it's broken, right? It's unserviceable. Guess what? You're fucking done, kid. You're fucking done. Seriously.
Were dropped because they were missing items in their packing list.
Yep. This is after day... Wait, did they say this was day one? I think so.
Followed by a quick smoke session.
Yeah, this is still day zero.
Warmed up before the main event.
Yeah, you have to go through the obstacle course and everything. And it's like going through basic obstacle course if you've ever been through one.
Where we filter out who is prepared to be here and who wants to be here.
Yeah.
7 of them.
And dude, when you're up in that confidence tower thing, dude, it's wild.
Without being dropped.
That shit wobbles at the top.
Hey, Major.
The last 2 are at a height.
You'd be surprised about the amount of motherfuckers who would actually fall through that shit and hit the net. Like they're just, people are like, oh my god, you know?
30 feet.
Aerosol, what's your roster number? All right, take this over to the white truck right there.
Yep, you're fucking done, kid.
So it's all technique.
There's no
Second
respawn in
major
Aerosol land.
is the 35-foot tall confidence climb.
That's not the Army's 10 toughest days. If I'm thinking 10 toughest days, I'm thinking Sapper School. I'm thinking Ranger School. I'm thinking SF selection. I am not thinking about Aerosol School as being one of the 10 toughest days.
Aerosol.
I literally, when I was first married to my first wife, right, and I was after I went through Aerosol School and stuff like that, I was still saying it while I was at work, right? And she'd be like, "All right, baby, good night. I love you." I'm like, "All right, Aerosol." she would look at me like, what?
As a helicopter pilot.
If you are stationed with the 101st, you are guaranteed to go through Aerosol School. Other units, like when I was over at Fort Riley with the 1st Infantry Division, when Justin and I were there, it was so hard. Like you had to do like a fucking 13-mile ruck march and shit like that in order for you to compete to get in the school. So obviously, because they're at Fort Campbell and the schoolhouse is there, it's easier for them to get it. But you're basically considered a shitbag if you don't have aerosol wings, and it makes the unit look bad.
Process that goes.
Now, just so you guys know too, over at the Sabalowski Aerosol School, they do more than just the aerosol school. All right, there's a bunch of things. There's the Pathfinder course, which is basically if you work with almost like air traffic control, which is like they're almost like with special forces and stuff like that. Like they work with pararescue and stuff like that. But what they do is that they create landing strips for supply runs, airport or like airstrips and things like that. Cargo being picked up or dropped off and stuff like that. And Pathfinders kind of do the same thing. If we need an LZ for whatever reason, if we're based up somewhere or we're setting up like a patrol base or something like that, Pathfinders will do that, much like air traffic control. So it's like the Army version of air traffic control, which is the air traffic control is Air Force, if that makes sense. They also have the riggers course, where basically if you are in an airborne unit, they have like a parachute rigger. Well, they have the same thing for when you are rappelling down, right? You're essentially the jump master, if you will, of air assault. And you'll see in like movies like Black Hawk Down, that one guy who sits in the middle and tells everyone to go and stuff like that. That is a job right there. And it's a lot more technical than just telling people to go down a fucking rope. But they have those courses like that at the Sabalowski Air Assault School at Fort Campbell. 9 times out of 10, the helicopter pilots really will not look at the fucking student actually doing the hand and arm signals. More times than not, they have someone who's already like sticking their head outside the window, whether they're under the aircraft, beside the aircraft, or the back of the aircraft, and they're kind of telling them like, all right, you need to go left, you need to go right, you need to go up, you need to hover, and things like that. They just kind of look at them like they're idiots out of common courtesy, just to make them look like they're actually paying attention. But they've done it so many times that they don't even bother with the students. Yep. That is the biggest responsibility that you have as a air assault soldier. It's not sliding down a rope and looking fucking cool, right? You are actually there to learn about how to air assault rig a Humvee or cargo or a fuel blivet, I think is what it is. And that's basically what transports fuel and things like that. That's what you do, is you rig the equipment to where the helicopter is able to take it, more so than you are of like jumping out of or sliding down a helicopter rope, fast roping in or anything like that.
24 deficiencies that we can.
You see them putting like tape on everything. It's that if it does crack, it doesn't shatter everywhere on the ground or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Show them clean loads so they understand.
Yeah, if you have to be really careful because you can get electrocuted if you touch the bird before the Q-tip does. So whenever you're rigging it up, there's actual rod, right? And that's supposed to get rid of the discharge of the static line and stuff like that, because everything's being powered through like electricity or magnet or something like that. It's basically something there that helps it stay together, right? And you have to discharge that basically. Right. I don't know if that's true or not, by the way. So check it out. When I went through all my training and stuff like that first time around for air assault school, I went to do the 12-mile ruck march. I passed out about mile marker 9 or so. And I was told that I had to come back about a week later, like maybe like 5 or 7 days or something like that afterwards. And I was able to retake the 12-miler again. You have to do the 12-miler in another 3 hours. I did my 12-miler in 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds. I was literally 30 seconds away from fucking being dropped out of the entire course, because if I fail a second time, I'd have to start from day 0 all over again. And that would suck. See, there's a dude in there, so he's like telling them what to fucking do and whatnot.
That was super
So they don't even
fun
fucking
because
pay
we
attention to those
learned
people
all
doing the
about all
hand and
equipment
arm
that we
signals
can
and
swing load from these aircraft.
you can do a
That was
fucking
rewarding
rave
to be
party
able
for
to
all I
actually
fucking care. They ain't gonna
load
fucking
and
look
watch
at
them
you.
take off.
In phase
Does that not look like a look at this? Doesn't this look like a face of like a fucking helicopter going nom 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 nom? Dude, that looks so fucking funny. They're like, let's go inside the belly of the beast, and they're like, get
Students
eaten by the
spend
Chinook.
time
That
on
looks
one,
so fucking funny.
but not for long.
Oh, that was so cool when I did that shit,
The
man.
last phase is focused
Now, the reason why that person's able to do that is because they have someone on belay, which is the person right here at the bottom, right? They're right here. If you let go of the rope or you slip your bearing or anything like that for any reason, right? The person, all they have to do is pull down on that rope tight as fuck. And what that does is it cinches it on you and then you'll stay in place and you won't fall. So like if you ever go to basic and you see drill sergeants or instructors in general jumping off the rappel tower and they're like, oh my God, and the person's on belay, right? They will pull that down and it'll cinch them down and they'll be fine. I promise you. Don't be scared, especially if you're going to do a rappel. It looks high, right? It looks scary. Now look at how he did it, right? Oh, it doesn't show it. When you hook in, right? If you just hook in just once, like that's stupid, right? You have to hook in, loop it around twice in order for you to do it. We have a bunch of people, they like, if you mess it up, they call you like a West Pointer or some shit. It's funny as fuck. And they like, West Pointer. And then they'll call you out and everyone will be like, West Pointer. It's so funny, bro.
Effective use of helicopter assets in both training and combat missions. Wear your air assault wings with pride. Your peers.
Damn, did you see that? Chat, did you see that? He put the fucking aerosol wings over his airborne wings. If that isn't a sign, I don't know what the fuck is, dude. Oh my God. Oh shit.
It's almost a
That
transformation.
is funny, dude.
You have a soldier that's timid at times and not sure if they really want to be.
What are we thinking as far as aerosol so far, right? Knowing what you see now, right? You kind of have a better perspective of whatever it is. So if you thought that airborne was better, maybe you've probably changed your mind about what it's also like to be aerosol. Or maybe this is how do you say, strengthen your belief that, you know, airborne is better, right? What are you guys' thoughts on that so far? For me, I would say this has solidified, it's brought back a lot of memories and stuff like that. So aerosol is only 12 days. Yeah, something like that. Maybe less than that. Maybe like 10 days. So now here comes my butter and bread airborne. All right, salty dog. All right. Hey, we're going to get into it here in a second. But with aerosol, right? You're doing more than just fast sliding down a rope and shit like that. You're doing more than just getting out of a helicopter. You're actually rigging equipment, fuel blivets, vehicles, and things like that. And you're able to get behind enemy lines a lot faster, right? That's something we could all agree on with the aerosol, right? So with that said, let's go ahead and talk. Let's go see what it is to go to airborne school. All right, let's look at that. Airborne is only 13, quick and easy. I'm told they run a lot. I do know that. All right, let's see if we let's talk about this. Okay, this is gonna be talking about airborne school now. Let's get into it, chat. I have little to no knowledge about airborne other than jumping out of planes and stuff like that. So it says first week, ground week. So this is parachute landing fall. So this kind of goes over like the fourth point of contact, if you've ever heard about that before. And I'm told that when you do jump out of the plane, right, and you land wrong, it can mess your knees up really bad. Okay, this is the mock door training. I know that it's like a simulation, basically, right, of preparing you for jumping out of the plane. So what he's doing right there is he's simulating what it's like, what he like looking at an airplane and stuff like that, right? Could you imagine if he's that far out of the plane and a good whiz just fucking caught his ass and he goes flying up the fucking plane? Everyone would look like, oh shit, what just happened? Where did Kyle go? I would be like, nope, nope. Let's circle around. Let's pick them up. You know what I mean? Oh God. Just like a wrong gust just gets him too hard. Or like a bird hits him. Oh, God. Lateral drift apparatus. So this is where you guys hook up, and I think they put you down, and then you look. Yeah, okay. I used to do that when I was in high school once. They showed us something like this. The key is to when you have the momentum, don't land on your feet. You want to land on your side, right? You're kind of doing a barrel roll. That was what we did. We jumped out of there, and then that's what we did. But I was like Patrick Starfishing the entire time. I would literally jump out of the thing, and I was like, I believe I can fly. Like the dude from The Hangover, that guy, that was me in this thing when I was a kid. Now, from what I understand, right, the reason why that's a 250-foot tower, this is apparently a 34-foot tower is what the thing said. This would be sketchier than jumping from a plane. So what I've been told is the reason why people, when they jump out of the plane and they tuck their chins in and shit like that, is because of all the straps and everything that comes out with the parachute. What you don't want is you don't want it wrapping around your head. You don't want it wrapping around your arms or anything like that, because it'll mess you up big time. And that's why when people tuck their chin and stuff like that, they're not trying to have whiplash or anything like that, because you can get knocked out, right? Or worse, even snap your neck like you're chewing on a fucking rough piece of bacon or beef jerky, and it sucks. Now, also, they on their helmet they have a rhino mount plate, right? They also tape that up so that way you're when the parachute goes out, from what I'm told, is that it doesn't cut the line for whatever reason if it hits your helmet. That's why it's taped up. And they help you. They train you on how to set up your own parachute and stuff like that. So I know that much. And a lot of the equipment they carry with them, like their rifle, they put in a bag separate, but it's attached to you. Same thing with your rucksack, except it's like flopping right in front of you. Kind of like your reserve chute, but it's like lower than your reserve chute. Yep, see, just like that. You literally look like you're carrying... You literally look like you're carrying like a third person right there, man. So yeah, everyone's jumping out and stuff like that. Already looking at this, I know that what this would be used for would be to drop cargo, drop equipment, food rations, things like that. Troops behind enemy lines. I know that already. And, you know, it's just like a fast insertion. I don't know if it'd be faster than a helicopter, but I know a plane is faster than a helicopter. So that is a way of doing it. You know what I mean? And then, of course, you got to do a night jump. That's what gets scary too, man. Jumping out into complete darkness. Oh, my God. And then they got to bring in all those ropes and stuff like that. Yep. So let's talk about this real quick. We just witnessed the Airborne video, right? It really didn't do that much of an explanation like I was thinking it would. Kind of like with the Aerosol, right? They would go through everything as far as what there was and the reason why they were doing what they're doing, right? If we're gonna look at this statistically, right, or like you know, without bias or anything like that, let's talk about the pros of Airborne and Aerosol, right? Airborne is a fast pace, or I wouldn't say fast pace, it's a faster insertion, right? But the question that I have is once you're behind enemy lines and things like that, what are you going to use to get out of there? More times than not, it's probably a helicopter or something like that, unless you're like going to airport and getting picked up by a plane again, right? You know, with the ability of fast insertion through plane as opposed to helicopter and stuff like that, you know, it takes a while, but you know, you're not really traveling that far in helicopter. So let's say this, right? Airborne gets a W for insertion, right? They get the W for going into a danger zone or a hot zone faster than it would be for Aerosol, right? But I think Aerosol gets a W on recovery and everything else because you have fries and spies, right? Your fast rope and your sling load, or your sling, what I don't know what it is. Basically, like you can get picked up by a helicopter without even it landing, right? They drop a rope, you hook yourself in, and they take off, right? And you're literally being carried like you're being cargo, essentially, right? You could do that with a plane, right? You would get like a little air blimp balloon that has like a beacon or light that flashes up, everyone hooks onto that, and then the plane will fly over it with their like the V-wing at the front or whatever like that, and they'll hook onto it and grab it. And then you'll have people in the plane come in and they will grab it and bring you up, right? That's another way of doing it. But I've never really seen that. I don't find that to be practical. I don't find that to be commonly used. I think that's more for things like emergency responses or special forces community. I think they would use something like that, or the special operations community in general. So I think Aerosol gets a W on the ability to extract faster than you would with the Airborne. But again, what is the mission that you're trying to do? Are you going there to stay? Are you going there to go in and out? What is the purpose as to what you're doing? You know what I mean? Airborne takes flank for Marines. Aerosol picks up vehicles. Yeah. So, but here's the thing: Airborne can also drop equipment fast, like Aerosol can. You know what I mean? But the thing is can you, when you put something down, can you pick it up fast? That's where I think the W goes to Aerosol. Let's talk about number of personnel, right? An airplane can carry more personnel than a Chinook or a Black Hawk combined. You know what I mean? So I think Airborne gets a W there. So we've got 2 for Airborne, 1 for Aerosol right now. As far as Aerosol goes, the amount of the versatility of what you can bring, I'm guaranteeing you cannot bring explosives on a plane. You can bring explosives on a helicopter. I've done it before. I used a Bangalore torpedo to breach a wire obstacle while I was I wouldn't say fast roping, but I was aerosalting from a Black Hawk, right? So I think that's where they also get the W. Right now we're at 2v2 on who gets the win, right? What do you guys think hearing that? Do you think Aerosol wins or Airborne wins? I don't care about your reason why. I just want to know right now who gets the W, Airborne or Aerosol. That's what I want to know. You'd say both trainings are good to have because they are both elite skills. They are both very important. If I could go both Airborne and Aerosol, I absolutely would. 100%, right? Because that looks good on me in my military career and everything. That means that I am a versatile soldier, right? I am good with, I'm basically I wouldn't say multicultural. I'm trained on a lot of particular crafts, basically. So I've got 1 say in Airborne. I've got 1 say in Aerosol. Fade says, okay, so yeah, okay, so what you mean. So Fade says Airborne. Freedom says Aerosol. Okay, that makes sense. For me, if I'm being honest, right? I feel like Aerosol can do the same thing, but they can do more than Airborne. That's where I think Airborne does not get the win for me for this one. If you guys think I'm wrong, please let me know. I want to hear the reasoning now. Why do you feel the way that you feel? Freedom, you said Aerosol. Why do you feel that way? Fade, you also said Airborne. Why is it that you feel that way? My dad, it was Airborne. So I grew up in an Airborne unit and stuff like that. So I completely can understand. I can completely relate as the reason why. That's kind of where I'm at myself. I respect the Airborne community. I respect what they do. They have a lot of history with them, right? So does Aerosol. Granted, Airborne is longer. Airborne has been around a lot longer, right? But 101st went from being an Airborne paratrooper unit to being the Aerosol division, right? There is no other Aerosol division that I know of, right? But you have the 173rd over in Italy. You have the 82nd, which is in Fort Bragg. There is I think there is, you've got SF that also does airborne operations, but they also do kind of both of Airborne and Aerosol. So the missions are similar from an army standing. However, helicopters are less stealthy. I would disagree with that. I think that I wouldn't say they're more stealthy than a plane, right? Because you could be up in the sky. But as far as like radar goes and sound goes, and depending on where you are, right? Helicopter technology they have noise dampeners that can like really, I don't want to say distort the sound, but they can really quiet the helicopter, if that makes sense. If we actually use Airborne, I'd say Airborne, but we ain't out here jumping into countries anymore. This is true. The 73rd was the last conventional unit to jump into Iraq in 03, and we use Aerosol all the damn time. That is a very, very good point, Salty. That is a very good point.